Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the only man who can start a trade war with Canada, collapse the stock market, and still think he's playing 4D chess while holding the game board upside down. Yes, we're talking about Donald J. Trump, the man, the myth, the meltdown. Or, as Lawrence O'Donnell more accurately described him, the most cowardly president we've ever had. So buckle up, because this isn't just another news analysis. This is a guided tour through the theater of the absurd, where tariffs are illegal, leadership is a punchline, and Canada somehow becomes a bigger threat to the United States than Russia. Let's start with the character of our star player, a man who pretends to be tough, but backs down faster than a cat near a vacuum. Donald Trump has made a name for himself, not for bravery, but for bluster, followed by backpedaling. He threatens, blames, explodes, and then retreats. Every single time. Lawrence calls him out plainly. Trump backs down more than any president in history. And the funniest part? No one is surprised anymore. Not Wall Street, not foreign leaders, not even the staff working around him. His entire leadership model is bluff, crash, backpedal, repeat. He's not a lion. He's a paper tiger with a Twitter account. Let's talk tariffs, or as Trump likes to call them, great economic tools. Well, here's a fun fact. Trump has never once accurately defined what a tariff is. Not once. To him, tariffs are like stickers you slap on imports until America becomes great again. Except here's reality. Foreign countries don't pay U.S. tariffs American consumers do. That's right. Every time you pay more for a car, a fridge, or a bag of coffee, that's the Trump tariff tax. It's a hidden tax dressed up as nationalism. Even worse, they're illegal. Why? Because only Congress has the constitutional authority to levy tariffs unless there's a national security threat. Spoiler alert, Canada isn't a threat, unless you think syrup and politeness are weapons of mass destruction. Trump invoked Cold War-era laws to slap tariffs on America's closest allies. He used a clause meant for wartime to bully trade partners for attention. That's not strategy, that's dictator cosplay. Now let's watch what happens when Trump's economic illiteracy meets Wall Street's patience limit. Every time he announced tariffs, the market panicked. Stocks tumbled, investors ran for cover. The Dow didn't just dip it nosedived like a seagull chasing a French fry. And Trump? He couldn't handle it. One bad trading day and he was already backpedaling. It's not a reversal, he'd say. It's a strategic pause. Please. The man paused more than a VHS tape in a blockbuster night. Wall Street knows the truth. Trump doesn't understand trade, finance, or basic economic cause and effect. He is, as Lawrence puts it, the slowest student in the room. And then, in walks Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, the man who said what every thinking American was screaming into their pillow, "We don't want this. But if you start a trade war, we will defend our people." While Trump was ranting incoherently for 99 minutes, without mentioning the stock market he had just wrecked, Trudeau addressed the American people directly, calmly, rationally, factually. He reminded us that Canada is not smuggling fentanyl into the U.S. 43 pounds total, you could fit it in a suitcase. Canadian goods power millions of American jobs. These tariffs hurt American families first. Trudeau didn't yell. He didn't lie. He didn't puff his chest. He simply told the truth. And suddenly, the contrast between a leader and a showman couldn't be more obvious. If you're still wondering how serious this is, here's your final wake-up call. The Wall Street Journal used the words "Great Depression" in a headline. Let that sink in. A conservative-leaning, pro-market publication is warning that Trump's reckless trade war could recreate the economic disaster of the 1930s. Why? Because of Smoot-Hawley déjà vu, the same tariff-driven nonsense that triggered the last depression. Trump isn't just flirting with disaster, he's handing it champagne and asking it to dance. The Journal sees what's coming. Higher prices, lost jobs, wrecked trade partnerships, and a stock market on life support. All because a president who doesn't understand economics is wielding it like a sledgehammer. So who are you going to believe? The pathological liar who says other countries are paying our tariffs, or Wall Street, which knows its American families footing the bill? The man who breaks his own trade deals within 24 hours. Or Justin Trudeau, who speaks to Americans with more care than their own president. Trump calls it strength. Lawrence O'Donnell calls it cowardice. The economy calls it chaos. The truth? This is the cost of electing someone who confuses Twitter rants with governing. If you're tired of the lies, the fear, and the reality show, politics, stay tuned. Because we'll be here, breaking down the nonsense, one cowardly backpedal at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe send a coffee to the next Canadian you meet. Because thanks to Trump's tariffs, it might cost more next week.